For the first time, student loan debt is now higher than credit card debt. Graduates owe an average of $25,000. And for people who are thinking about getting an education loan, there are some things you can do to make sure that you don't end up buried in debt. So joining us this morning is Jonnelle Marte, reporter for MarketWatch. Thanks for joining us, Jonnelle.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So yeah, this is one of those things that you can't run from your student loan. It has to be paid off. So you want to be careful about how much money you get and make sure that you really need it. And we were just talking, we know doctors who are still paying off student loans, right?
It is such a big issue that a lot of people are paying attention to. And even if you go into a well-paying profession, you can become a doctor, you can become, veterinarian, a lawyer. You could be paying these loans until you're well into your 50s, right? So it's a big deal. It's a big burden for a lot of people. And we want to raise awareness. I talked to some experts about what you can do to minimize the debt that you take on.
So the first thing that you suggest is don't take more money than you need.
Yeah, so that may seem a little bit obvious, but a lot of people may overlook other options out there, right? There are federal grants. Make sure you apply for scholarships. There are scholarships just to cover your books. Any little bit will help, because if you think about it, for every dollar that you borrow, it could take you $2 to pay off once you factor in interest and the time and all of the work that you have to put into it.
So get as much free money as you can.
Exactly.
And then when you have to look at the loans, choose your loans carefully.
Yes, that's really important. So you want to borrow federal loans first. Those will be, well, first of all, they'll have better interest rates for the most part. And you'll have more flexibility for paying them off. There are some debt forgiveness programs that are not available for private loans.
All right.
So definitely borrow federal first, then look into private loans. And the interest rate matters. You want to get a fixed rate loan primarily. Variable rate, we already saw a lot of people get burned by variable rate loans.
It can shoot right up.
Exactly. So unless you know that you're going to be able to pay them off within the next couple of years, stick to the fixed rate if you can qualify for them. Federal loans first.
So you got your federal loans in place. You only have, you've got as much free money as you could get. Now it comes to the end of your education journey and you have to start paying this debt off. You set up a sort of an automatic debit thing. That's sort of the best way to go.
Exactly. So one of the worst things you could do is fall behind on your payments. Unfortunately, you really actually limit yourself in your payment options once you default. So make it automatic. Make sure that it's coming out every month. And that way you don't have to think about it so much, and you're sure that you're not falling behind.
So if you're having a problem, they're more likely to negotiate with you and give you a break if they see that you have a good record of payment.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
And look for tax breaks?
Yes, Uncle Sam can help you pay for your college education. So there are a few credits and deductions that were extended. So for instance, the American Opportunity Credit, there are some income limitations to that one, but it is meant to help you cover the cost of your college and your books and your tuition. So see if you qualify, and if you make a little bit more, the Hope and Lifetime Credit should, that's for higher income earners as well. So this is something that can help you, it can reduce the amount that you're paying in taxes and overall reduce your bill. And also, once you start paying, you want to take advantage of the student loan interest deduction.
Okay, those are all great bits of advice. And you say be aggressive about your payments. I didn't know that you could overpay if you want to and put down a little bit more, right?
Definitely, you want to pay more than the minimum when you can, and you want to definitely, that will reduce the interest that you owe on the loan over the lifetime of the loan. And sometimes people will be tempted to defer the loan or go into forbearance, but that can almost double, or really sometimes it depends on the situation. But that when you do that, you really risk growing your debt by a lot. So start as soon as you can, pay more than you can, and get it out of the way.
And obviously do your research. There are a lot of options out there, a lot of things that you can take advantage of if you do your research and listen to experts, right?
Thank you.
All right, Jonnelle Marte, reporter for MarketWatch, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.